New York Congressman Mike Lawler. Congressman, first of all, congrats on your great reelection. And of course, you're going into the GOP, keeping control of the House. What does that mean for America?
Look, Rita, last week, Americans sent a very strong message that they were tired of the nonsense of the Biden-Harris administration, and they wanted us to be able to deliver on the key issues, from the affordability crisis to the border crisis to crime and public safety in our major cities like New York, and really reestablish America's role in the world and work through a policy of peace through strength. And I think that's what they expect in the first 100 days. Obviously, President Trump has a very robust agenda focused on the economy, increasing domestic production of energy, securing our border, deporting criminal aliens, and obviously bringing these conflicts around the globe to an end. And I think that's what we're going to be focused on. I'm excited to hit the ground running come January. A lot of the legislation that we passed through the House, this Congress, that Chuck Schumer refused to move will be at the foundation of the first 100 days.
Yeah, there is going to be a lot. Just like you said, there are so many big, huge issues, and America's people clearly resoundingly said they want you guys to fix it, that there's a lot of broken things. Already, it's amazing, Congressman, Democratic governors are already banding together, essentially starting this resistance movement to Trump's policies. The group is called Governors Safeguarding Democracy. What exactly do you think they're going to be doing? I mean, they haven't made it clear. And how can Republicans combat what already is gearing up to be a resistance when they don't even necessarily what they're resisting against?
Frankly, Rita, it's pathetic. And clearly, folks like Governor Hochul and Governor Newsom didn't hear the message that Americans sent last week. All of these issues have been litigated. Democrats said Donald Trump was a threat to democracy, and yet Americans voted overwhelmingly, both by popular vote and the largest Republican victory in 36 years through the Electoral College. And they sent a resounding message that they want us to focus on the issues that are impacting their families most acutely. That's the cost of living, grocery prices, energy prices, housing prices. Everything is up over 20% under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. The crisis at our southern border, in which 10.5 million migrants flooded into the United States unabated, and creating a disaster in cities like New York, where they're spending billions of dollars of taxpayer money to provide free housing, clothing, food, education, and health care to illegal immigrants. And obviously the international crises around the globe, from the Russian invasion of Ukraine to the terrorist attack on Israel, the illicit oil trade between China and Iran, the threats in the Indo-Pacific by China. Americans want us to be the leader of the free world. They want us to get our fiscal house in order here back home and secure our borders. And the fact is that when Donald Trump was president in the first administration, America was more prosperous, our border was more secure, and the world was more peaceful. We saw what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did. The American people spoke overwhelmingly. So the resistance 2.0 needs to frankly come to an end. These folks need to learn that at the end of the day, the American people do want us working together. Where we can find agreement, compromise. Where we can't find, point out your differences. But the resistance 2.0 needs to stop.
Yeah, and it's incredible that it started, it seemed like within hours. Also, they didn't get the message about taxes. And one of the big issues that you have been very much vocal about, and I think a lot of New Yorkers are, is this issue of congestion pricing. And I want to get to this because, of course, New York Governor Kathy Hochul, she's renewing her plans to start the tolling program. It's at a discounted rate of $9 starting in the new year. But is this the right time to be socking New Yorkers when already this exodus continues in the great state of New York, Congressman?
Kathy Hochul is the most inept, feckless, incompetent governor in America. She's literally peeing on people's legs and telling them it's raining by saying that she reduced the toll from $15 to $9 and that she's saving them $1,500. No, You are charging them $2,500 a year to commute to work. Meanwhile, she's spending billions of dollars of taxpayer money to provide free stuff to illegal immigrants. If that doesn't show you how absurd it is in New York today, I don't know what else will. Taxpayers who are working hard to provide for their families get charged a fee. Illegal immigrants get handed free stuff. This is the problem in New York.
Yeah, it's getting socked from every different direction. Well, keep up the fight. I know a lot of people are just frustrated. And maybe if they go after the fare beaters and start collecting those, then they wouldn't need to do the congestion pricing.
$700 million a year they lose, the MTA does, from people who jump the turnstiles and refuse to pay the fare. Fact is, crack down on that. Stop providing billions of dollars in free stuff to illegal immigrants, and you have more than enough money to support the MTA.
Yeah, absolutely. Put your priorities in the right place. Congressman Mike Lawler, really great to have you, and congrats again. Great to see you.
Thanks, Rita.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.